Christy Pace with CHD Connects Hearts YouTube interviews. And today we have an amazing story with Jordan and her baby boy. I believe he's 7 months, right?
Yes, as of 2 days ago.
7-month-old Rowan Daniel. Rowan Daniel has a story to tell, and he is not done, let me tell you. So today we're going to just journey down the Rowan Daniel Hible. Right, Hible. Rowan Daniel Hible path and see where he is gone and where he is going. So Jordan shared her story with me about Rowan, and he is, like I said, 7 months old. He has a diagnosis, and I'm going to let you say these after me. TOF, PA, MAPCAs. So why don't you tell our audience about those?
It is TOF is going to be tetralogy of Fallot, PA, pulmonary atresia, and MAPCAs, major aortopulmonary collateral arteries.
Did you ever think that you would be spouting off diagnoses like that and knowing what they mean in your lifetime?
Never.
I mean, is this just a crazy journey?
It is. Prior to this, all I knew about was HLHS, and that's because one of my friends, his son was born with it.
That's what my grandson has. Same diagnosis. Yes. So she shared her story with me, and I was taken back a couple of times reading it. The first one that really hit me hard was the 45 seconds that you had him in your arms, and the 5 minutes that you got to see him in a pod before they took him away. And as a mother and as a grandmother, first child, I just, those are the parts that just get me so hard, and wondering how you as a mom dealt with that moment.
I don't think I have yet.
Very fair. Very fair. Yeah. Do you think you've got a lot of PTSD?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So you're about the same age as my daughter. And my grandson's 4, almost, he's 4.5 now. We had a similar event at 2 months of age, I believe. Let me double check my notes, because I think you all were just right in there.
Yep, right before 2 months.
Yeah, and at 2 months of age, 19 minutes of CPR, he coded.
Yeah.
My grandson, right at 2 months, a little bit over 2 months, 23 minutes CPR, he coded. So your journeys are very similar. Diagnosis is a little different, but your journeys are very similar. And the trauma of these events have shaped her, and like you're saying, has shaped you.
Absolutely have.
Yeah. So from the story I read that you shared, it is a miracle that he is sitting there in your arms right now.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. How are you dealing with things?
We just, one day at a time, really.
Yeah. What's your hardest struggle?
Really just always that looming of going back to the hospital.
Is it, I just want you to know, I get very, very frank in these interviews, because one of the things that bothers me with the CHD community in general is, if you take that tube out of his nose right now, he looks really good, right? And people don't understand, just because they have these surgeries, they think they're cured, they think they're better. And we don't have a lot of that outward appearance with our children as to what's going on the inside.
Yeah.
And I want that to change. It needs to change, because I don't think the CHD community gets enough attention.
It really doesn't.
It doesn't. We don't have enough research. We don't have enough dedication with it. we've gotten some really good milestones with some of the procedures that have come out to extend lifespans, but we still have a very long way to go because of the anatomy changes that we're doing within the body with these babies. We're still shortening their lives. It's creating these other problems. So I get really frank about things, and I hope that you can go there with me. And if not, I think you're froze.
Absolutely.
You're froze on my end. I don't know. Wait for you to come back. There you are.
I'm going to try switching to 5G real quick.
Okay.
We have 2 different internet settings.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that makes it a little bit better.
Okay. So I'm hoping you can go there. Now, if it is too much, just say I can't go there.
All right.
All right. So, God, he is precious.
He knows it. And anytime we're impatient, he uses it for evil.
Well, that's he has a right. He's earned it. So, as I was saying, it needs to change. So with your struggle, let me back it up. So what would you say your biggest struggle is then? Can you share a little bit on that? You say fear of going to the hospital, but is it not deeper than that?
It probably is. I have definitely repressed a lot of things and have not yet worked through them.
Yeah. Are you in counseling?
Not yet. Unfortunately, here in Arkansas, it is rather hard with military insurance to get in with anyone.
Well, it is, and it's every insurance anymore, isn't it?
Yeah.
And our mental health, we have a mental health crisis, period. We do. Ever since they deregulated and changed the way things are, they've not come back and said, okay, we went too far on the pendulum swing, we need to come back. So there's not enough help. It takes months and months and months to get into where you need. So I commend you for trying. I hope you're on the waiting lists. That's all I can say. They're long. Just keep calling. So what is his diagnosis today? I know you said he's going back in April.
Yes.
Correct? And that's going to be open heart surgery.
It will be.
Yeah. Okay. So, and they're doing
let's see. We'll just do October. We ended up flying med flight from Arkansas Children's to Stanford Children's, or Lucille Packard, whatever name they're going by day to day.
Yes.
And we flew on the 21st, got there the next 22nd, he had cath lab, and by the 25th, he was in the OR. They were hopeful to do the full repair, unifocalization of the MAPCAs and the VSD closure and conduit placement for the tetralogy. After the unifocalization, his pressure testing was too high, so they weren't able to complete the TET repair, but they placed a 4mm central shunt. So the MAPCAs are completed, but he still needs that VSD closure and conduit placement, which is what we'll go back for.
I've talked to several adults that, they never closed theirs. And she's 20. I have to go back and look at my notes, but she's in her mid-20s, and that was never closed. Isn't that amazing? And she's doing great.
Wow. I've recently just read a few of those comments in some of the Facebook groups.
Yeah. It's just amazing to me, what happens, and everybody's different. Everybody's different. And that's one of the biggest things we all have to remember is that we all have our own little journeys and they all have their own little journeys.
Yes.
Yeah. So talk to me about the MAPCAs. Say them again, what that means.
Major aortopulmonary collateral arteries.
So additional arteries. So do they have, have they checked him lately? Does he have any additionals?
So Arkansas found 3, and that's all we knew about until we got to Stanford.
Yeah.
When they did their pre-op cath, they found an additional 3.
Mm.
So 6 in total. They were able to unifocalize all of them during this first open heart surgery.
So Hunter, my grandson, had his Fontan last year. Well, anyway, it's been a year and 2 months, 3 months. And he went back a year for his year follow-up cath, and he had 2 additional arteries. It just amazes me how their bodies do. Just decide to let's do another artery. Let's just build one here. Let's build one here. That is crazy.
Yeah, it's like you hear about like the brain finding these new pathways, but you don't hear about other areas of the body creating them.
Yeah, we don't think
almost
about
out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Exactly. So I bring that up just because, there may be more. We don't, their bodies just do what they feel like they need to do. Our bodies are very smart, just like our brains are very smart. They're going to do everything they can to protect us. And so it's trying to do
absolutely
that.
do.
It's trying to do that. Yeah, it's trying to find its way to fix the problem. So it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. So tell me how did you deal with the pregnancy? So, of course, being your first child, you were very excited. And then how did you deal with the news
Keep going, bub.
and the rest of your pregnancy?
Yeah. So the first part was pretty easy. Even at our anatomy scan, they missed his heart condition there. They just noted that he had a 2-vessel umbilical cord, which meant he was at risk for intrauterine growth restriction.
Right.
So we were just going to have a little bit of extra monitoring. Not a big deal. If he's born a little small, we might have a little bit of a NICU stay. We'll grow him. We'll get out of there.
Right.
And then we had our follow-up about a month later. They noted that he had a smaller right kidney. Still noted nothing about his heart. Not a big deal. We'll just monitor that. He'll be seen by nephrology. Doesn't mean too much. It's just a little bit smaller. People can function with a singular kidney.
Right. Well, and it went along with his growth also.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they wanted to monitor more than just once a month at the maternal fetal medicine. So we started getting weekly visits with BPPs, NSTs, along with just normal OB follow-ups. And at just one of those check-ins for the biophysical profile and checking his growth, I got a call after that, and they're like, hey, the doctor, upon review, thinks they may have seen something with his heart. They would like a fetal echo tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So thankfully, they had an opening. We live 2 hours away from our children's hospital.
Yeah.
So it was done at a smaller facility here in Texarkana. Just only person in the room was me, my husband, and the tech. And then once the tech was done with the fetal echo, we telehealth with the cardiologist.
Yeah. And
they weren't able to give us a complete diagnosis based on just that one. But we were told, which was very difficult over telehealth. I mean, difficult in person as well, but to not even be face-to-face with a cardiologist, was that he had complex cyanotic congenital heart disease. And that was the only answer they had that day.
And then you go home
Yep.
with that weight on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, right after I had an OB visit for an NST.
Oh my gosh. Serious? I mean, back to back.
Yep. I had to tell them, hey, let's wait 10, 15 minutes before we take a blood pressure.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah, because you'd have probably been put in the hospital right there.
Yep.
Yeah. So you were newly married at this stage.
Yes.
Yes.
September of 22.
Yeah. So, I mean, you all are brand new in your marriage. It's just starting out your lives together and your family. And then
Yep.
you get just, I mean, taken out at the knees.
And it was a journey to even get pregnant.
Oh, really?
Because after we got married, stopped taking the birth control. I didn't regulate out, so they did some labs, found out I have PCOS, so a form of infertility,
Yes.
and I got started on
Metformin?
letrozole.
Oh, okay.
Yep, letrozole to help with the follicles, and then progesterone to help regulate.
Yeah.
And it took a year of taking it. It was about 9 rounds in total. We were also in the process of moving from Minnesota to Arkansas, where we are right now.
And that was with the military? Yeah.
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
My husband has been out of the military for, 13, 15 years, somewhere around there.
Okay. But you still have the TRICARE.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. That's where that ties it.
Yep.
So, I mean, all right. So that's the medical side of it. And I know we tend to compartmentalize everything through this and just keep it about the medical. And we keep pushing back the emotional and the psychological because we just can't deal with it. So we just kind of go right back into the medical, right back into the medical, because it's the one thing that we can move forward with. It's like the wheel that keeps turning. And if we go into the emotional and the psychological, we're so afraid we're just going to fall. So, how did you and your husband deal with this together? Did you communicate well together about it? Did you isolate from each other about it? Did you put it on a shelf and just not really go there? How did you all process that as a couple?
I ended up, so with the follow-up fetal echo, when we ended up getting his official diagnosis, I ended up going straight to Dr. Google after we had our in-person meeting and everything. And I broke down all of the big medical terms and pretty much handed that to my husband. And I'm like, here you go. Let's talk through it.
Yeah. And were you all able to do that?
Thankfully, yes.
Good. That's great. That's a big, big step. A lot of couples struggle. They just absolutely struggle through it. And some of them just kind of go like this. I mean, divorce rate's very high.
Yes.
With this. And you end up with a lot of single parents dealing with this on their own. So I'm very grateful for you all, very happy for you all that you all didn't, find yourself there, that you've been able to manage that. Oh, look at you, big boy. So you would not know he had a growth issue.
Did.
I mean, look at him. So how much does he weigh today?
Last night we were 6.66 kilos.
Okay. What does that convert to in pounds? I don't know those conversions.
Let's see. We got 6, 0, 234.9, 234. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We got 14 pounds, 10.9 ounces.
That's fantastic. So what are they doing? Because let's go back. We've not really talked about the genetic mutation, the NADSEN-I.
Yes.
Is that correct? So he was diagnosed with that. He has the genetic mutation, and you've tested, and both of you are carriers for the gene, recessive carriers for the gene. So has that contributed? Do they say that contributed to his CHD, or was that something separate? Or do they
It
know?
did. It is the cause of his CHD.
Okay.
There is not a lot known about this NADSEN-I mutation. Currently, as of June or July of last year, there were only 27 documented cases of this mutation.
And he's number 28.
Yep.
And that's in the world?
As far as we're aware, yes.
Isn't that something?
The oldest person currently with this mutation, who surprisingly has the same variant that Rowan does, I believe he's from Europe because that's where the medical journal was based out of, but he is 30.
Okay, that's amazing. That's encouraging.
It is.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for a lot of others, some of them passed while in utero or very early in life. Other of the 27 cases were second pregnancies where they knew about the mutation from the first pregnancy, tested early for subsequent, found out, and it wasn't something those families were able to move forward with. So those pregnancies were terminated for medical reasons.
Yeah. And, those options are off the table for a lot of people now.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's something that we don't think about very often, how much that's going to change the CHD numbers.
So where
large increase.
We are both recessive carriers, the statistics of even having a child with CHD in the first place, it's like what, 1 to 2%.
Right.
And then subsequent pregnancies, as far as we were told, 2 to 5 to 7%. After we got the genetic testing back and found out we are both recessive carriers,
numbers went way up.
It has. So any subsequent pregnancies that we conceive either naturally or with the help of medication, excluding IVF, would be a 25% chance of receiving both of these genes and having the same condition that Rowan does.
Wow.
It doesn't mean that they would also be born with tetralogy. It could be as something as just a small ASD or VSD that would close on its own. It could be something as severe as HLHS.
Right. So has that made a decision for you all going forward, or have you made that decision?
We are talking about future plans, but our only decision for us is to go through IVF.
That would eliminate.
We would go through the genetic testing of the embryos to make sure that we don't have to have another child go through the same struggles that Rowan has.
Yeah. And the idea, I'm glad you brought that up. We talk a lot about the, the medical procedures, what we go through as the parents, the grandparents, the family members. And one of the things I've realized and noted, and most people won't admit this, and I think it pushes a lot of the emotions behind it, is the guilt. And the struggle of that split struggle of I'm going to fight for my child's life. I'm going to do everything I can for them. And that's that initial front end push drive, right? And, because we are offered the palliative care, we're offered the hospice, we're offered those options. It's on the table, but that push, I'm going to do it. And then watching what the child has to go through. and standing at the side and watching their pain and the open chest and the feeding tubes and all of those things. And then the guilt starts to come in and the questions of, did I make the right choice? Did I not make the right choice? How do you deal with that side of things?
We are still dealing with it. So we have made the decision to keep the NG and not get a G tube. Initially, it's better that we ended up keeping the NG because he proved after that first cardiac arrest that he does not tolerate anesthesia, at least
Oh,
pre-unifolk.
oh boy.
So there, it actually a lot of the anesthesia leads into why he coded.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
If we had done that prior to his cath and knowing how he reacted, we more than likely just assumptions would have lost him during a G2 placement.
Wow.
So, but now that we are post unifolk, we were given the option again, and where it would have been extending our hospital stay more. Prior to that, he'd only been home for a week before we readmitted.
Yeah, like 8 days.
Yep. We
Yeah.
came home the evening of September 20th, and we readmitted the evening of the 28th.
Yeah. Yeah. On the 8th day.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you struggle? Do you struggle with that? I know, and it's this, it's not congruent. It's not a congruent thing. It's like these two sides just come together. And we wouldn't give Hunter up for the world. And we'll do everything we can to have him here with us. But there's times that I look at his little body, I look at his scars, I look at his, and it just, what he's gone through has been so hard. And it's hard to put those two sides together and sit in them. And so you just go, that's on that side, that's on that side. And then we end up splitting ourselves up from it. I interviewed a family the other day, and TOF was her main diagnosis, and she's in the hospital. She's waiting for a transplant. And I got to meet her husband and her mom in there. And it was quite amazing how her mom, with this 31-year-old woman, her daughter, in the hospital for a heart transplant, we talked, and she still struggles with that, the two sides of it, and the worry and the fear, and never really got to process it. But I don't think it's because we don't take the time. And I think our approach from the beginning is not, we don't feel we have the time, and we don't feel like we're allowed to. And that's one of the things I want to change. I want to be able to change that from the very beginning when that happens, that we set something up for everybody. So you have permission right then and there to not just take care of your child, but to take care of you and your child. So that is a huge, huge push that I want to do, so that there's more integration and processing.
It is needed.
It really is.
We expected to go right to the CV after he was born. And they never prepared us for a NICU stay, even with his growth restriction. It was decided after he was born that he was going to go to the NICU versus the cardiac floor. Yeah. And I didn't find out until after we moved to the CV that they were supposed to be offering counseling in the NICU. I didn't get a single NICU packet the entire 17 days we were there.
Yeah.
And then once we moved to the CV, then we got one of the social workers working with us.
Yes. But how much, I mean, they're inundated.
Yep.
It's just like the social workers out here in the world with foster children. And I mean, they are covered up. They don't have enough time. So I'll say it again. I do not devalue what they do, because they make sure all of our medical connections are there. going in and out of the hospitals. They make sure all that's lined up, but they don't have time to delve into this.
They don't.
They just don't have the time, the resources, the energy. And it is so, when it comes to the medical community, they see this every day. And they've gotten to a point where, yeah, it's still probably hard on them, but they've gotten to the point where it is their normal life every day. And they're not capable. It's not even that they're doing something wrong. They're not capable of putting themselves in this 25-year-old new parent, brand new child, first time child, and being able to even come close to relating to the emotions that you're going through. I mean, you've got the postpartum, you've got the hormonal, you've got the absolute biggest fear. You got all of these things going on at the same time. This is their normal. It's not your normal. So I really hope that we can make a big change in this area. I really hope we can. So my daughter is not the same person. She's not the same person. She lost a part of herself. And that has been why I did this. Look at him. He's just looking at me.
Yeah.
You're so precious. But that's been my drive between my son, my grandson, and her, is wanting to make this change because of these things. I want my daughter back. Yeah. So what would you say to a new parent? What advice would you give them?
Sorry, what was that? It broke up.
It's okay. What would you say to a new parent? What advice would you give them?
Gosh.
If you could talk to you 2 years back, what would you say?
I mean, I want to say be ready for the unexpected, but you're never ready for any of it.
Oh. There you are.
That was odd.
That was very weird.
I'm glad it let me back in.
Yeah, of course. So be ready for the unexpected, but you're never ready for it.
No.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I am not a great person at advocating for myself, but I have had to learn very quickly how to advocate for him.
What can we do to help you advocate for you?
Thank you.
That's you, baby.
you.
That's you. Bless you. Goodness.
Oh,
Oh, look at you.
it's okay. Do you need your dragon? Would that make it better?
Oh my gosh, he loves you.
For myself, I guess I'm really not sure.
Yeah. I want to encourage you to start thinking about yourself.
It's definitely been getting better after him.
Yeah. Because you matter. Your needs matter. Your emotions matter. And you at your strongest makes you the best mom and the best advocate. So if there's something that I can do, please let me know.
Absolutely.
Okay. But I'm gonna challenge you to start thinking about you. Do a little something for you every single day. Just a little something. Start out small.
I mean, to be fair, I did buy myself coffee for the first time yesterday.
Congratulations. That's awesome. How'd it feel?
Great, because it tastes like Oreos.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?
Dollar General.
Oh, okay, that's all right, girl. Oreo coffee. It's got to be an iced coffee.
It's supposed to be. It's the International Delight brand.
All right, so what are you going to do for you today?
Well, I put makeup on today, so we'll go with that.
That's good. It's always something little, but yeah, every day, please do something for you. Okay, take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. Okay. Is there anything you want to add? Anything else you want to talk about? Breathe.
What are you doing, Bubs?
It just watching.
Um, yeah, I guess not that I can think of at the moment.
Would you want to come back after his appointment in April? You're froze again.
Didn't even touch anything.
I can always tell it's getting ready to happen because you just go, you just freeze. Would you want to come back in April after his appointments? Let me know how he's doing.
See.
I would love that. I would. And I want to check in with you and see what new things you're doing for you, Mama.
Yeah. Good.
Rowan, you're our heart warrior, Rowan. You keep going, baby.
Oh.
Oh, there you go. You'll feel better after that.
I'm better. Oh, it's okay.
Bless. I know you got your hands full, but I want you to know I'm here. You just reach out if you need something, and I'll check in with you. I'd love to talk about insurance next time too. That's something I really want to hear about, how the insurance works for you guys.
We are actually moving here. We get on the train on the 29th to move to Washington. So it'll be a lot better once we're getting a lot closer to care for him.
Good. That's good. So are you going to switch his doctors?
So we'll stay with Stanford for all of our surgical, but we'll get a new cardiology team with Seattle Children's.
I think that will be a huge step forward.
Yes.
Don't you? Yeah.
It really will.
That'll offer you a lot of emotional relief too.
Yeah.
That close. So is insurance a battle though? Are you fighting insurance for things?
We thankfully haven't had a whole lot of issues. They will pretty much pay the same as like state Medicaid. It is a struggle to find people that accept that because it is such a low amount. But we had to involve state senators to get his medical transport to California.
Really? They wouldn't
Yep.
do it?
They would not provide a prior authorization. It's a covered service. So once it's billed, it'll get taken care of then. Unfortunately, a lot of these transport companies have been screwed over by this. I want to say specifically CHAMP, but I feel like it's going to more than likely be military insurance in general. So they would not medically transport him without a prior authorization.
So you went to the senator.
We attempted to get a hold of Arkansas's. We couldn't get a response from anyone. Dad's family lives in Minnesota, so grandma and grandpa called their state senator, and Amy Klobuchar, oh my goodness, did her and her veteran service officer work their rear ends off, because they are the ones that got things in writing to get him the medical transport.
And that was Amy?
Amy Klobuchar.
That's just shameful.
It is.
It's shameful. See, this, I was talking to my daughter the other day about this. You've got St. Jude's that takes care of the cancer children.
Yep.
You've got the Shriners that take care of so many children. And the CHD community has to fight for everything. Everything. That just makes me angry.
It really does.
That is just, it's not right. It's just not right. I'm glad you took, whose decision, whose idea was it to make that step? To go that direction? Your parents or his parents?
Dad's parents are the ones that contacted her. And then
way to go, grandma and grandpa. Way to go. How scary that had to be for you guys.
It was, because if we weren't going to be able to drive him across, because until his unifolk, he was still on oxygen support.
Yeah. Yeah.
So driving there wasn't an option. Flying there ourselves wasn't an option, because even I met a mom when we were out in California who has, private insurance through their work, and their son was out there for PAR surgery, and they couldn't even get a portable oxygen concentrator covered by insurance for transport. So they had to pay out of pocket.
Yeah. And that is ridiculous. It should not even be a question. And like I say, it's happening so much. It's not just you all, it's happening everywhere. And I just get riled up. I do. I get riled up and angry. It's just not supposed to be that way. Well, I'm hoping that we can make some changes on all of this. I'm bringing awareness to it. I want it to be known. I want it to be seen. I want changes. So thank you for being a part of that. And thank you for bringing that up. I'm glad you did. So again,
did you see
Jordan,
Dad come home?
Did you see Daddy?
Did Dad come home?
Did you see Daddy? Jordan, thank you very much. Take care of you. You are important. You matter. You're doing a great job. And I want to thank you again. All right, Mr. Rowan. You take care of Mama. You take care of Mama.
I know. You're watching your soaps, but we can go by.
I hope to see you guys in May.
Absolutely. We're back in the OR May 1st. So after that.
Yep, please do. Okay. You can just pop on anytime on the schedule and schedule another interview, or if you want to schedule it on out later, June, whatever you want to do. I'm all open for it. I'd love to hear what happens.
Sounds good.
And I'm an email away.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.